Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, good morning. Well, it's a great pleasure and a great honor to participate at this seminar of the Institute of Energy for Southeast Europe, which is about energy security, energy transition, and the new maritime reality. The topic that we are addressing today is not only timely, but it's fundamental. We are living in a period of profound transformation where we have energy, geopolitics, and the economy that are increasingly interconnected in so many ways that really they do not allow any simplistic approaches. Energy security, as once understood it, has evolved really. It is no longer just about resource availability or energy supplier diversification. It is in reality about the resilience of entire systems, starting from production and transportation up to infrastructure and networks. It has to do about the ability of economies to respond to crises, no matter these crises are geopolitical, technological, or environmental. At the same time, the energy transition is accelerating. But of course, we found a lot of uncertainties in this acceleration. We have a strong pressure for decarbonization, which is, of course, both institutionally embedded but also socially demanded. However, the path towards this cleaner energy future is neither linear nor uniform. Different regions move at different speeds. Technological pathways vary, and investment challenges remain significant. So, we are in reality in a very complex environment, and the maritime sector holds a dual and particularly critical role. Because, on the one hand, it remains the backbone of global trade and energy supply. The transportation of LNG, oil, crude oil and products, and the increasingly new energy carriers, such as hydrogen and its derivatives that will be in the future, like ammonia or methanol, they rely heavily on shipping. Even the carbon that is captured or is going to be captured from activities like that, it must be transported with shipping. On the other hand, the maritime sector itself must undergo a profound transformation. It must reduce its environmental footprint because shipping stands only for 3% of the total carbon dioxide emissions, but it's still a big pollutant. Shipping must adapt new fuels, must invest in technologies that are still maturing, and must comply with an increasingly stringent regulatory framework. So, this is where the new maritime reality emerges. It's a new reality in which all the fuel choices are far from straightforward. We don't have technological neutrality at the moment, and we don't have technological maturity. And of course, all the decisions are made today will determine the viability of the fleets for decades to come. And this is really a big question, a key question is arising that how can we reconcile energy security with energy transition without undermining either of them? How can we ensure that the transition does not lead to excessive costs that will undermine competitiveness? How do we avoid the risk of technological lock-in in solutions that may prove transitional and not finite? And how do we mobilize the necessary capital for investments in a high-risk environment? We understand only that the decarbonization of shipping needs something more than $1 trillion. In my view, the answer lies in collaboration and realism. So, at the moment, there is no single technology that can provide a universal solution. We can have a mix of approaches that will be required for that to improve energy efficiency, to adapt alternative fuels, to leverage digitalization, to optimize operations, of course, and to implement smart regulatory mechanisms that will support rather than hinder innovation. Equally important for that, of course, is the role of financing. Investments in shipping and energy are capital intensive and long term investments. So they require clear policy signals, stable regulatory environment, and mechanisms that will help mitigate investment risk. And finally, we must not overlook one of the most critical factors, which is the human factor. Talking about this transition means that we must understand that this transition will demand new skills, new knowledge, and a different decision-making mindset. So, education and training are asked to play a crucial role in enabling this transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, shipping has consistently demonstrated its ability to adapt from thousands of years ago. From the past technological revolutions to today's challenges, the sector has shown resilience, flexibility, and innovation. Today, it is called upon to do so once again, and this time in a far more complex and far more demanding environment, and very quickly. But I'm really confident that through today's presentations and discussion, we will have valuable insights and the foundations will be laid for more targeted and effective strategies. Thank you very much, and I wish you a productive and insightful seminar.